So, Thrawn New Book by Timothy Zahn really answers the questions of how Thrawn came into the military, how he rose through the ranks, and how, like, kind of explaining like his process of how he figures out his adversaries and how he's so easily able to predict what they're going to do. One thing about the old books by Timothy Zahn, the Heir to the Empire trilogy, we don't really know how he became a Grand Admiral. We just know that he is a Grand Admiral, and that after the Emperor's death, he kind of took over the Empire in a sense, and was causing problems for the New Republic because he was very smart, and he is able to outmaneuver the Republic very easily. But in this new book, we don't know who he is. He's discovered on a planet, and he said that he was exiled by his people for his what's the word I'm looking for? Of his methods that he was going about to protect his people. So they exiled him, and he was on this planet. So, and then the Empire finds him. Now, one thing that is new is the fact that he met Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars, and we didn't know this beforehand. There was no evidence that Anakin even met someone from another section of the galaxy, like from the unknown regions where the Chiss live. Now, this book follows Thrawn throughout his entire career. It's very interesting. He goes through the Imperial Academy in 3 months with his aide/interpreter, Eli Vanto, who is approached multiple times to try to betray Thrawn, but Vanto decides not to, and that hampers his career. This book is also very good about showing how, like, a lot of people in the Empire is xenophobic. Now, in a few short years, an alien in this xenophobic society is able to rise to the rank of Grand Admiral. Now, this is on the same level as Grand Moff, basically a step under Emperor and Darth Vader. Like, they're the next level of authority. Grand Moff is more of the civilian side, whereas the Grand Admirals are on the Navy side and the military side. As far as I know, right now, Thrawn is the only non-human Grand Admiral. Now, with being the Grand Admiral, he's made aware of the Death Star because he follows the resources with the help of his aide, Vanto. He approaches the Emperor at the end of the book, asking what is Death Star, and that he raises concerns about not wanting to put all these resources into one thing. Well, the Emperor says, "Don't worry about it, it's fine," blah blah blah. Anyway, so going in from there, I have some questions. Since Thrawn was inherently against the first Death Star, is he against the second Death Star being built? And did the Emperor ultimately send Thrawn away to the unknown regions as part of the contingency plan that he put into place with Gallius Rax? Now, we learn about this plan from the Chuck Wendig series of Aftermath books, which are, people say, aren't very good books. I enjoyed them. They got better. The Aftermath was actually really good because you got to see the Battle of Jakku, the one that's basically in the Star Wars Battlefront game. That whole series is good. You get to meet Snap as a young kid. All right, back to Thrawn. So is he against the second Death Star? I would say he is, but what we don't know if he does anything to try to stop it or what. Also, since at the end of the book, in the epilogue, Commander Vanto goes to this just ascendancy and is like a liaison to them from the Empire to kind of learn their ways, learn their culture. I just want to know. I would love to see books about his adventures with them, or just books about the ascendancy, so we can get more idea of who they are, what their culture is, and how they operate. Not just from Thrawn's point of view. Maybe get point of views from other shits in the society as they're living, or maybe get it from Vanto's point of view as he's living there with them. So, going back to Thor not really knowing, maybe not knowing about the second Death Star, maybe comes back into the Aftermath books. We learn that there's a Superstar story still out there. In the books, all the Superstar stories were destroyed. There's supposedly 3. We have the Darth Vader's that was destroyed at Endor. And then we have the one that's destroyed at Jakku, which was not Grand Admiral, but Admiral Ray Sloane's. I want to say it's the Ravager. I'm not entirely sure if that's the right name for that Superstar Destroyer. And there's one more. It's the Superstar Destroyer Eclipse, which was the Emperor's personal Star Destroyer. Now, he sent that away and hid it from the records. Like, it was supposedly destroyed at Endor, but it really wasn't. It was sent off into the uncharted part of the galaxy that's part of the contingency. And now, I believe Thrawn would be an ideal candidate to take up that position, just because he's familiar with the area, and he'll be able to lead it effectively. And maybe could be a punishment for Thrawn for not stopping the rebels in the Rebels show. Now, we don't know what's going to happen there. He's obviously still a big part of that. We'll see what the final season's like. If he's still alive, that'd be great. If he's not, this theory kind of gets put out of the water. Anyway, so maybe the Emperor decided to send one of his brightest people away just to keep him safe, and obviously Brax doesn't know about it, about the Thrawn being there. With Thrawn being in command of that, he could, and then train or tutor the new leader of the First Order that would rise to become the First Order. The government that rises to be the First Order. Snook. I mean, it seems like in the movie The Force Awakens that Snook's not entirely with the whole Star Killer base, the super weapon, but he just let that happen. I don't know why he let it happen. Maybe I think it's to appease some of his underlings, to make them happy, kind of prove, this is not going to work, but you're going to do it without me. Anyway, so go ahead. I have other plans that I need to concentrate on, like Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker. He's obsessed with that. We're not going to test that with a 10-foot pole right now. So, if Thrawn really did tutelage Snook, it could be he's able to manipulate, able to control people like Thrawn was able to, not really control, but like to outmaneuver his opponents. He was able to anticipate with a very, very strong certainty what they're going to do. And they usually do what he predicts because of his method, which is studying the art, which is very interesting because, I'm sure there's some good basis behind this, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. If you look at art, it depicts culture, right? I mean, he goes more in depth about the strokes are like this during this one period compared to this time of peace where they're more fluid. When there's the time of clones, they're more starch and they don't want to. If you look at the samurai paintings, they're warlike people. they're honor bound people. You can probably, I think, you can see that in the paintings. Like, the samurai were protectors of their emperors, and they would fight to the death, and if they failed, they would honorably kill themselves because they lost their honor, and they don't want to live without, they can't live with the shame. And to restore some of their honor to their family, they kill themselves out of respect for their family and to gain back a little bit of honor and dignity. So that's what I think Thrawn's idea behind the paintings and the art is able to, and he's able to predict what they're going to do, which makes sense. If you look at it, the ideas behind the paintings and pictures of the samurai and sculptures and stuff, and look at it and analyze it in that aspect. So, tell me what you think. I would love to hear back from you guys. So leave a comment below, and I would love to hear back. And I'm starting this new thing because I wanted to do it, obviously. But I will stream on Beam. I'll try to do it on Saturday nights or Sunday afternoons, unless my work schedule changes. Then we'll readdress that. I will stream Battlefront. I'll basically stream whatever game I'm playing at the time. So join me there. We can talk more about this. We can talk about other things that you've read or heard about. I'm very in the know with like lore and stuff. I'm not so much like games are going to happen or what's going on in the movies, because I kind of keep all that out. I kind of block myself out of all that until it's released, so I'm not disappointed in what's going to happen with the movies or the games. So, like I said, let me know what you think. Leave comments below, and join me on my stream on Beam on the weekends. I'll post another video with times, and I'm going to try and do it at. So, stay tuned, and hope to hear back from you guys. Thank you.